These wheels are being given away.
Tom, Francis Cade's one of his wheels, and here's the other one.
Look at that.
There you go.
Is that pretty cool?
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Kasabian.
What about you, Neil?
I'm a mid-late cyclist, cruise around the Surrey Hills.
Right, wearing sort of tight lycra and stuff.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, look, Drew, I'll send you some stuff so you can wear it when you're riding. So yeah, that's how me and Lance Armstrong used to. Listen, it was great to meet you guys. Thanks a lot for coming all this way. Tom, it's a pleasure to meet you. I hope you're going to ride like the wind on those fat boys. And likewise, Neil, I expect us to hear your, you know, massive gains. Where are we at?
Morning!
I've come to see Dave. Is he around?
I think he's just come in.
Oh, there he is. Okay. There's only one problem.
Yeah.
And we
both know what that is.
In fact, there's two problems.
We can build it.
We can rebuild it. Tell you what, Dave, do you mind if we film anything or not? I think the best way.
As much stuff as you want.
The thing is, right, if I say let's put some stuff on film, right, and then we'll go, oh yeah, right, and we'll look all stupid, won't we? So have you did you plug the microphone in? Yeah. That's really amateurish, isn't it? But if we just chat,
we do the same tune, yeah.
Turns it off. We talk about all the good stuff, and then we've missed it. Yeah. Anyway, so that's a really cool bike you got there. If I was you, Dave, I'd go for the really distressed look, though.
It's going to end up distressed pretty quick.
I know it is, but I think you should do it deliberately. This is Dave, by the way. I know I introduced him earlier, but this is Dave, and we're in his house. He's very kindly allowed us to disturb his Saturday morning.
Very kindly, but all the way to Devon.
But listen, here's the thing. He painted this bike himself. I think it looks pretty cool, actually. It looks like it's a fun bike. What have you got on the back there? You've got a 140.
Yeah,
and a 140.
160. Is it 160? 160, 160?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's 160. Yeah, 160.
160.
If you could come set up with 140, I'd like matching.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dave, there's only one problem with that bike.
Yeah.
And
we both know what that is.
In fact, there's two problems. There's two problems with that bike. Hang on a minute, let's see if we can fix it. Hang on, you just hang on a minute.
Dun dun dun.
I think we have the technology. $6 million man, isn't it?
That's it.
We have the technology. We have the technology to fix Dave's
we can build it.
problem. We can build it. We can rebuild it. We can rebuild it. We have the technology. I don't know, Dave. What do you think? Do you think that's going to look a bit more?
I think it. Oh God, it's so matchy, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it? It's either a clash or a match. I don't really.
I think when your bike is that many colours, right? Can anything like clashing's good, right?
And you see, we've thought of everything, right? Look, we've built in a tape holder.
Holder dispenser.
Look at that, you see? And that's not any old tape, but that's speed metal tape. Okay, so there you go. Look at that, Dave. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it looks awesome, doesn't it? Yeah. When you send me a photo, like, oh, I've got these ones built. I was like, oh, and it happens to be orange.
Yeah. Were you hoping something else or not?
No, I like the orange.
Okay. Well, you know who helped me to make these graphics, don't you?
Mr. Santucci.
Yeah. So I told you the story of how.
Yo, Jeremy.
Hey, yo, Drew! I got the greatest idea. You got to do this. You need orange tree camo graphics on your wheels, and then you'll sell like 1 million of them. And I said, well, what do you mean? I don't really understand. What do you mean orange tree camo? And I said, look, Jeremy, if you can design it for me, just send me the artwork, and we'll see what we can do. So about a week later, I get a WhatsApp or an email from Jeremy with a screenshot from his phone of an Amazon checkout page with a hunter's camouflage, one of those things, vests. And he goes, there you go, I've designed your wheels for you. So that's what we had, and that's what we stole from his screenshot and turned into that graphic.
It's a different layout to the older ones, right?
Yeah, these are the Revolution rims. You didn't have any of these before. You had DM8s. You have DM8 originals. These are the Fat Boy Revolution. These are wider.
Are they wider?
Yeah. Look how wide they are.
I'm going to find something even bigger to monster truck over.
No, these are great, right? So it's the same width externally.
Yeah.
Right. So it still fits in all the same tight clearance bikes, but the internal width is a whole 1.5 millimeter wider. It doesn't sound like much, right? But it's an 8% increase over the DM8 internally, and internally is where it counts.
Yeah.
So these are perfect for if you put a
Gives it a
28,
nice profile.
If you put a 28 here, there's no sidewall bulge at all. And off-road tyres. You're going to ride off-road tyres on this bike, or are you going to ride it on the road bike?
Apparently there's clearance for 32.
Yeah,
it's got
so
no
you could
bridge.
do 32. Yeah, I mean it looks like there's plenty of clearance in there. So.
And then the fork, there's a fair bit there. So
yeah,
but these are narrow.
Yeah,
these are unknown brand rims.
Yeah, well they haven't got their graphics sorted out, have they? These guys.
They're quite subtle.
They well, so are ours. I mean, you can't accuse us of not being subtle, can you? Most people, even though they're bright orange, most people can't read what it says because of all the camouflaging.
That's it.
And they're like, "What is that? Is it NIDS?
NIDS.
What is it?" Anyway,
I know what it is as soon as I see it.
Yeah.
I've just painted my blue
Smoky
bar
colour.
rims, right?
Yeah.
I should have left them.
What else should we talk about, Dave? Well, I tell you what. What do you think of the wheels that you've been riding?
What do I think of the wheels I'm riding?
That we made for you a couple of years back. You've been riding for a couple of years now.
Absolutely love them, and genuinely, honestly, switch from fast forward wheels,
yeah,
which are quite a well-known wheel.
Yeah, and you've dabbled with Zip.
I've used a lot of brand of wheels. I really have.
Well, that's good. Then you know what you're talking about.
And it's the width. You feel it instantly if you ever race and you ever go into a corner completely pinned, especially at our local circuit.
Yeah.
It's a full 180-degree hairpin.
Yeah.
And you feel it on a fixed gear bike, like decently, but on a road bike, when you're really pinned,
yeah,
it's amazing. It really is. And you just have that. It gives you confidence. It really does. And I know that if I'm riding into a corner in a group, like I can buddy to the front.
Yeah.
I'm not braking. Yeah. I white knuckle it.
Well, most of these bikes don't have brakes on them anyway, so you know.
But you can get a decent gap, and there's a few people that will follow. I mean, obviously you have decent riders that will.
But they're the ones, and the ones on DT Swiss wheels. What happens to them? They all fall off, like at Thundercrit and like at Nocturne.
It was a good example.
You took out all 4 of our riders.
Was it? Which one was it? It was at Barcelona Red Hook Crit, right? Yeah. The last one, actually, yeah. Not last year, 'cause it didn't happen. The one before. Yeah. It was a really greasy course because they'd had food stores
right by the sea as well,
everything. Yeah. So you had sand on it. They had grease from old food stores. They'd like power hosed it all and washed it all down, but it was still really greasy. Yeah. Everyone lost it. Yeah. I crashed 3 times in that race, right? Yeah. Not one of those crashes was because of the wheels. Yeah. Right. I was stuck.
So the people
every time, everyone washed out.
Everyone washed out. That great photograph we've got of you.
Yeah, me going straight over the bars
with your face.
You know.
Going,
and this is like, shit. So I'm mid corner. Yeah. I see someone's back wheel go out. Yeah. Should have had wider rims. Yeah. And then I still get time to self-right it, lock up, and obviously I went over the bars, but. There was no juddering, there was no slipping, there's no and I had to, I had to start trusting you because I always ran high pressure.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we had a long conversation about running lower and lower
I remember we had many conversations because I tried to convince Dave.
I refused to do it
to run lower pressure.
And then I started running lower and lower, and then Red Hook London. I think the wet one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
we ran something ridiculous, like 35 psi.
Yeah, I remember William Lewis. He did that, and even I was like, "Whoa!"
And he was it. I asked him, I was like, "What are you running?" And he's like, 35, and I'm like, "How much do you weigh?" He weighs the same as me, and I'm like, "Do you know what? I'm going to give it a go." And then since then, in dry weather, I'll run like 80, like 75, 80 psi, and.
55 is my favourite.
I'm getting there. Like this season, I'm going to go like 70, 65. But you can feel it on a corner. It's you can just rail it. You can really. It's like a video game.
Well, I tell you what, you've gone through the corners comprehensively. That was a great advert from Dave there about cornering. But what about the rest of the riding? Is that any good or is that?
Well, it's just comfortable, right? Because
comfortable.
You've got less pressure.
Is it quick? Is it quick?
Of course, it's quick.
Quick. Hang on. Let me tune back into cycling talk. Fast. That is. I'm thinking of racing cars now. Fast. We're talking fast backwards. So overall, you're happy with them, yeah?
I'm more than happy.
Okay.
Stoked.
Well, that's good.
I'm stoked.
That's good.
And then it's nice because these are lower. I normally run I think I had 60mm or 58s, wasn't it?
That's right. These are 45s.
So you'll notice out of a corner. Yeah. So not that you need to be any faster out of a corner on spin anyway, but it's a nice.
Well, the reason I chose 45s for this bike is I thought you would be doing a bit more off-road and stuff. So by the time you've got a big, fat, chunky tyre on there, you don't need the extra depth so much, really, because you've got that bigger profile anyway.
And then isn't deeper rim like slightly more jarring when you're?
Well, a deeper rim is stiffer, so you know.
So it gives you a bit more.
Yeah, if you've been watching our FAQ series of educational videos that we've got on YouTube, which is some newfangled invention. I don't know if you've heard of it, right? But anyway, basically, you know, the thing about a wheel, right? I might as well get this in while we're here, is all this bit here, yeah, is just air basically. So this is not stiff at all, this is all flexy here. And the only stiff bits of your wheels are here, the axle, and this bit up here. And here's what's all important, the tyre, right? So the more of the gap you can fit between the tyre and the axle with something that's a really stiff material, in other words, the deeper you go with the stiff material, the stiffer overall the wheel is. So the 58 is stiffer than the 45. The 45 is not as stiff as the 58. But having said that, we don't make any non-stiff wheels.
No,
so
it's not like it's going to be floppy.
It's not going to flop over,
you know.
no. But for sure, the 58 is stiffer again, and then the 9 we do, the real deep one that we do just as a rear wheel, that is stupidly stiff. I mean, it's incredible. You feel it as soon as you pedal it. You feel.
Yeah, and I think with an aluminium frame and a thing, like to have that little bit.
I think it's a good. I think this would be.
It's the perfect match.
Good mix for that.
I mean, I've been running the wheels for like what?
And you know, the other really important reason why I made these 45 Dave is because they're the only ones I had available. Okay. Yeah.
But the head tube's a lot shorter. So
sorry, whose frame is that?
That's mine.
No, I don't mean who owns it. I mean who made that frame?
State.
That's State, but this is a Specialised.
That's a Specialised.
Right.
So geometry-wise,
did you buy this?
Yeah.
You could have painted something else on the side, but you didn't need to write Specialised, did you?
I know.
If you paid money for it,
I think
you could have written "spin on this" on it.
And
are you filming it?
Yep.
Everyone's got a massive problem with Specialised.
Well,
they're quite.
Hey, listen, they've been good to the sport of fixed grit, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it was all about the Roubaix thing, wasn't it? When they tried to sue a shop for the use of the word Roubaix.
Yeah.
Which is slightly amusing.
I mean,
that's called the Allée.
That is, you know, that is a little bit piss taking, obviously, because where did Specialised come up with the name Roubaix from? You know, it's a place, by the way, in France.
But that's just overactive lawyers. That's not.
Of course it is.
The people I've met from Specialised and what Specialised have done for sports and cycling, etc., etc., is. You kind of sometimes have to overlook, you know, and everyone loves to hate the successful big.
I think they're are they the world's biggest bike company when you actually realise who they are, other than Specialised?
Yeah. We've got Specialised Roval, and all the.
No, but the brand that bought Specialised.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember what they're called. Are they called? Is it Merida or is it another?
I think
another
one.
Is
it Merida?
It's either Merida or it's Trigon or some. It's a huge Taiwanese. I hope we're not busting anyone's. Illusions here, but
I mean, they still make damn good bikes. You know?
They do, and for a great price. I mean, I can't make bikes like they make them for that price. It costs too much money. So
I mean, I know people that ride Specialised, and I mean, obviously they're on a Specialised team, and so therefore they ride a Specialised.
Yeah,
but they've been riding for years, and they wouldn't ride crap bikes.
No.
So, and I like it. It's just a nice bike. You know. And then
so let's tell us about this one.
This one,
what is this?
My old State undefeated.
Is that what you were riding last year?
That's what I was riding last year, yeah.
Right, so that was
I had the Standard last year.
Standard, that's it. I'm getting confused.
The German one.
State, Standard, Specialised, Spin. There's something going on there, isn't it? There's a lot of S's there.
Lots of.
Yeah. But that's right. So are you going to race this one this year then?
No, we're getting new team bikes. We're getting Colossus.
Colossus. Never heard of them. Are they?
Colossus, right. It's a Dutch frame builder. So they make a lot of frames for other brands. No,
aluminium.
So
right.
Very similar.
So you guys are going to be right. Did they make the standards by any chance?
I don't know.
They might have done. They might have made the standards. Yeah. Okay.
And it's a very similar frame.
Okay.
To be honest, I've always loved my.
But this is aluminium as well.
Yeah, aluminium.
And this is your old. This was a blue.
Old bluey
blue with a sort of gradation on it. Yeah, blue.
I love the frame.
And someone's very artfully painted this frame. Can you get a close up of that?
Can you see the fleck?
But don't go too close.
Red fleck.
Oh, is that what that? I just thought it was mud.
No, that's
I thought you'd been riding it out.
I know, right? I painted it, and someone's like, "Oh, you're going to clean the dirt off of it," and I'm like, "That's."
Is that a hand painted decal, or did you just put a decal? You stenciled it, right?
I went to a craft shop and I was like, I need something to stick on it.
It's very artisan, isn't it? It's artisanal.
Look, it looks like a coffee bean.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's coffee.
Okay, cut.
The hipster like with coffee.
Right. Well, Dave's making. It's very kind of him. He's making me a gourmet coffee. So you're riding for Northumberland Thundercats still this year, yeah? Hence the pizza death metal T-shirt. That's actually a pizza T-shirt. I didn't realise that. I never got a T-shirt, despite supplying 500 pairs of wheels for the team. I've never even got a t-shirt or a cap. But never mind, I'm not complaining.
I do see that. I'm going to have to go find you. I've got a sticker. Do you want milk?
No, I don't want a sticker. Yes, please. Yes, please. If you've got brown sugar, can I be really fussy? You don't take sugar?
I don't have sugar and I don't drink milk.
Oh my god. What's the point of drinking coffee then?
Black coffee!
I don't like it, it's horrible.
Black coffee! Like, that's like... Yeah, that's just the thing, right?
I like that. Don't worry about the sugar if you can't. I can drink coffee without sugar. No, it's the wrong colour. See, I'm such a fussy bastard, right? I can only have a very small, tiny spoon that big with brown sugar in it. It has to be brown. And the granule size has to be precisely to my liking.
Is it like the larger grains?
I would probably say they're probably medium.
Yeah.
I always forget what they're called. Is it Demerara or is it the other one?
I should know this because I cook quite a lot. Hence the
I don't
massive baking drawer that we've got.
Anyway.
That's all you can do when you live in the country.
Hey, listen, what's it like being a dad then? Because how long ago were you not a dad? Like just June last year.
June last year.
Right. And
I wasn't a dad.
Yeah.
And then me and Juliet adopted a lovely little girl.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden.
What's her name?
Lexi.
Lexi. Are we allowed to say that on camera?
Yeah.
You can. Yeah, Lexi. I met Lexi earlier, and she's very charming. She's got some beautiful red welly boots, but she didn't want to hang around. She told me because she was.
Wants to go out on her bike.
She's out on her bike. Yeah.
She's got her first race soon.
Yeah.
So we've got a bike, and she's got a balance bike race coming up. And not that I'm a competitive dad,
right?
But like we've got a friend who's also got a daughter the same age, and I'm like, I don't care where you come in a race, just beat Rob's kid.
When you go to your first race as a dad, right? It doesn't matter how rubbish your children are, right? You stand there and you think, well, should I shout for them or not? And then you got all these other hundreds of parents around you, all completely losing it, right? And pushing their kids up the hills and all the rest of it. So we started out with like our kids cyclocross, West Midlands League.
Oh, really?
Cyclocross.
It's a really good league.
It's really good fun. It really, it's really family friendly. If you guys out there are looking for a great way to get your kids into cycling and you like mud and you like really sort of cool scene, cyclocross is the way to go.
Yeah.
It's
we actually did go to that.
But it's so competitive though, I just want to say, it's so unbelievably competitive.
You see kids with
you'll change.
Crazy wheels and things.
Oh yeah. Well, we met one of our best kids that we've ever sponsored, two brothers, through our local cyclocross league. And we met.
It's huge the league where you are.
Yeah. Well, there's some real talent there as well. You got the Tullett brothers and you got the Askey brothers. So we met the Askey because Ben Askey used to kick my son's arse every race. And he said to me, we came home from a race one Sunday. We sat around the kitchen table, and Atom said to me, Atom's my son who's holding the camera right now. He said to me, Dad, why don't you just sponsor Ben Askey? He kicks my arse every race. He's brilliant. And I thought, that's a really good idea. Yeah, let's go.
That's good sportsmanship. Don't you think?
And I said, well done, boy. Good thinking. You're thinking commercially, long term. Excellent. Well done. Atom did retire from racing shortly after that because he preferred the sort of commercial aspects of the business. So then we signed up Ben's older brother, Lewis, who I think now is probably something like a 16 or 17 time national champion, cyclocross, track, mountain bike.
Yeah, the young generation
race.
Are like insane, like absolutely next generation. Yeah.
They are.
We haven't pushed her actually, to be fair, and a lot of people are like, oh, does she cycle a lot? Does she do this a lot? Because obviously me and Juliet both cycle quite heavily, and we just left her balance bike in the living room. Yeah. And she's got a little scooter she likes, and if she decides she wants to ride, so be it. If she's not into
the main thing is to go there and have fun. Yeah. If you have fun doing it, you'll love it, and if you feel like I don't want to do this,
but she has got this like thing. So I was riding up the hill yesterday, and I'm getting this little hand pushing me in the bum, going, "Go, go!"
What's wrong with you?
Because I'm going too slow up the hill, and this is a 22% climb back to our house. Yeah. With a child seat on. Yeah. And I've got a 2-year-old moaning at me because I'm not going quick enough. Yeah. And so you have to swing back round and pin it down the hill, and she loves going fast. So.
Cool. How old was your daughter when she came?
18 months.
18 months.
18 months.
And did anything happen to you mentally the day she arrived? Was there that switch thing? Yeah. Did you have that?
Yeah.
Because that's interesting. Because
it's quite strange because you think it might only be a biological thing.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to ask you that. Yeah.
But I think if you get, I think it's just human nature, right? You've got like a vulnerable child, and I don't know how much you know. I used to work as a gang outreach worker.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah.
So lots of the kids I worked with.
That was in London, right?
Yeah. They had quite intense childhoods.
Yeah.
And I'd be quite protective of like a 20-year-old that I work with.
Yeah.
You know? And these are like quite aggressive kids that have been done and like charged with things like murder, like, you know, assault, like assault with deadly weapons.
Yeah.
But still, like, they're little kids, you know, because they've never been raised. And so I was quite protective of them. So if you put an innocent child in front of me, obviously you're just going to instantly...
Well, I think you're probably...
that bond just grows as well,
you're personally predisposed to looking after other people, I guess. Whereas some people aren't. I don't think I was. So I had the biological switch, which I wasn't expecting at all. No one had told me about it, you know, but when my wife and I, we had our first child, we have two. But yeah, instantly that happens. Everything changes,
it's strange,
and you weren't expecting it. So I thought it'd be really interesting to ask you about that.
Yeah, it is quite strange because it's like it shows that it's not. But I suppose because people always wonder, like, would you have the same attachment to an adopted child as you would your naturally born biological child?
Yeah.
One of our cats recently died, right? And I was devastated. And so if you can feel like that about a cat,
of course.
Like, I didn't give birth to the cat.
No, that's right.
You know, it's just a cat. Like we got the cat from a cat shelter, things, and you know, I was so upset. So why, like, you put a child in there? Not saying that children's lives are more important than cats, but they're more vulnerable, you know. And so I think that's why it's just human instinct, you know.
Well, listen, congratulations.
Thank you.
And congratulations to Juliet also, and congratulations to your daughter on finding herself such a great home. You know, full of cats. She's going to grow up with a very weird outlook of life at the moment.
I
mean, let's face it, she starts with the big advantage, you know, because she's already got some of the best wheels going indoors already. You know?
That's it. I know. We're just going to need to make a, what is it, 12-inch? A 12-inch in there?
No, I only do the one side of the wheels. I kind of want to do it. But
she's going to need to get
seriously, well done.
Thank you.
Very good. I was very surprised when I heard from, you know, because you kept quiet about it.
It was very quiet.
You didn't broadcast it.
All of a sudden on social media, there's a child.
You've got a kid. And it's like, wow, I wouldn't have thought I thought you guys were too young and hip to have kids, you know?
Too young, I'm nearly 40.
Too many tattoos to have kids. Are you really nearly 40?
I'm 38, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, people often think, this is my
people often think
my
I'm
attitude.
40, but I'm not.
Yeah, no, it was quite a shock, I think, for everyone, you know?
Hang on, Dave, how old do you think I am?
Don't put this on camera.
Yeah, go on, do it. Let's see if you can get it right.
What do you reckon?
I'm asking you, what do you think I am?
55.
I'm younger than that.
Am I?
It's my birthday next week.
How old are you?
How old am I? I've forgotten.
54.
52.
52.
That was my other guess.
No, but I'll be 53.
Come on, ask me again.
In 3 days' time, I'll be 53, so it doesn't count.
I remember talking to someone at my work. They came in and we were talking, me and Juliet, to someone else. She said, "Oh, it's fine for you kids. You're doing this." And then me and Juliet disclosed our ages, and she was like,
"Yeah,
Jesus,
no, I thought you were
the same age as us."
Oh, yeah, I thought you were younger than it turns out. How old is Juliet? If that's not a rude question.
Oh, I'm not going to say. People are weird of age, aren't they? They always assume. I think people always assume. It doesn't really make any sense. I'm healthier now than I was. I mean, I spent 10 years working as a messenger, and you think you'd be healthy, but I mean, it's not.
You're probably not. You're probably not as a messenger.
I'm healthier now than I was 10 years ago.
Yeah. I'm just for the record. I'm planning to be extremely healthy later on this year.
Are you?
Yeah.
I've just started since.
I didn't race much last year either. You might have noticed. I didn't do too much racing. Basically, because Dave took the year off, I thought I'd, you know.
That's it. Just to support.
Support. I thought I'd. You know.
This is a good thing about it. I've always felt I've had a lot of support.
Yeah, I like to be there for all the people we work with. I like to be there.
Didn't make me feel like I was just.
In fact, you know what I did for the whole of since you basically Thundercrit. It was the last time I think you raced.
Last year. I raced Thundercrit and Minette Crit. That was
right.
That was
there you
all
go.
I was allowed to
so
race.
Basically, after Dave's last race, I don't think I even looked at my bike after that. That's how much support I gave you, Dave. Yeah, all right. But I have looked at it this morning.
My back's basically because I slipped 3 discs in basically the top, middle, and bottom of my back. I've had to build up every muscle around because it was either surgery, which means they fuse a disc, so then you can't bend over properly. And as a cyclist,
that's not good for riding.
Can't really not bend over. Yeah, I'm not actually slammed anymore.
Right. So you change your position.
I've gone up like 5 mil.
Right.
And it's just more comfortable. You know, like it makes no difference really. And then I had to build up all the muscles around my spine because.
See, if you'd had a custom frame,
pull-up bars.
If you'd had a custom frame, so you could have stayed in the same slam position and adjusted your seat tube angle. Could have tilted it more upright, you know, and that would have achieved the same arc in your back.
Yeah.
Hey, boys and girls, that's the reason you need to ride a custom frame. All right, just
basically my legs are pretty strong, so I can get a good sprint out.
Yeah.
And my upper body wasn't that strong, so if you're putting out 1400 watts.
Yeah.
And your upper body's not strong enough to support it, because I've got a ruined back. Yeah, so I had to just like chill.
I think that's a classic, you know, road cyclist syndrome. Is, you know, lots of strength here, big lungs. Yeah. And, you know, little twiglets for arms, you know. Yeah. Chris Froome comes to mind, doesn't he?
Yeah. But you see a lot of crit racers look a lot healthier because they're a lot
Well, they look a lot healthier when they're posing, but then they go around the corner and they're smoking fags. So you know.
Yeah. That's it. I recently gave up that as well.
But that's one of the cool things about fixed crit. You know, from my point of view, it's a breath of fresh air because it's not so stuck up and po-faced as road cycling. We'll have to remember to edit this bit out because otherwise I'll upset all my customers who are all road cyclists. So you know,
you can put it in a slightly more PC way. Road cycling's a lot less
interesting,
a lot less flamboyant. So you go to a fixed gear crit at Lee Valley Villa Park, right? Crowds, things, shouting. You go to a road crit, no one goes to watch them. Well, and it's all very for a Cat 4 race. Why are you being so serious?
Of course,
you know. Whereas in fixed gear racing, you've got.
Well, it's in a venue for a start. That's the difference. That's what makes it a great and cool and rewarding event to be. You know, from my point of view, as a equipment maker and sponsor of these things, you know, do I want to be involved in a road race for Fourth Cat road races that goes from one place to another place with no one interested?
Yeah, even the world. Crits, though, people are just like.
But a town centre crit, you know, on the street in a big city, even not in a big city. First of all, and to see the races every minute and a half come past you, it makes it very spectacular.
This is where fixed gear crits are going to go.
Very spectacular.
So you see, Red Hook crit's not on this year.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Yeah. So let me just check before we start. How are you doing for battery? Does it look like it might run out? Probably a good point because we did the classic thing. We went and had a chat with Brian Meggins at his coffee shop in Holland.
Yeah.
What's the name of that place?
Fixed Gear Coffee.
No, the town.
It's Colnago?
No, Valkenburg. Right? But what it's really is what is it? What is that place? What is it? You walk around the street and you get high. And you walk around the street and by the time you get to this coffee shop, you can't.
We went to watch the Cyclocross World Championships.
Smoking weed, and he's
like, I'm opening a cafe, and this was the year before, and we're like, wow, really cool.
Yeah.
Next year, he's fully just opened a cafe.
Yeah, that's right.
Doing really well. Yeah.
But we went there, right? We spent the whole day chatting to other people, right? And by the time we wanted to have a little chat with Brian to see what he thought of the bikes that we made in, and just as we started filming it, battery ran out. So we've missed the whole thing.
I've done it with Juliet. We've been filming a whole load of stuff, and I don't know if you have it with your mic. Go to watch the footage back, and for some reason, mic's recording no sound.
Yeah.
So you've just got Juliet.
We've had that.
Let's just subtitle it.
But listen, I just want to say though, because we never put this video online because it was so shit. Because we went. Here's Brian. So Brian, what do you think of the bikes we make? It's like end of it. But what he actually said was that they're really good. Of course, you're not going to believe me because I'm the idiot that made them, right? But he did say that, and Brian.
They're the Thai ones, right?
Who's so I made him two frames.
Yeah, Thai road and crit.
A road and a fixed gear crit bike with the exact same geometry, both bikes. So just the only difference was one has brakes and gears, and the other one doesn't. So, and he was riding both of them, and he really loved them, and he was very sceptical about it because the reason we did that is because first time I met him was at the Thunder Crit a couple of years before. And he was looking at the bike I had on show, and he goes, "That'd be rubbish, wouldn't it? It'd be too flexy to ride, you know."
Oh, what, Thai?
Yeah. And he said, "Oh, you know, steel's what it's all about." And I said, "Well, you don't understand because you use this material. You make this material. One of the beauties of this material is that you can tune the stiffness to as much as you want. I can make you a bike that's way stiffer than any carbon bike." And he goes, you know, in the Dutch way. How do they do it in Dutch? I can't do it. I'm not good at that. Anyway, so the point is we made it for him as an experiment, and so I did ask him, and he did say, but the battery ran out. Now he actually said that it was the best bike he's ever ridden, and I just want to point out that he has ridden a few bikes.
Yeah, Brian used to ride. So he was an under 23 pro.
He was a Rabobank pro rider. You know, he's Brian's ridden a lot.
Very much racing pedigree.
He's a proper Dutch road racer background as well as fixed gear.
His first Red Hook, right?
Yeah.
He was the one that was like just rode off the front. Yeah. Especially in the wet one in London. You can see someone that's been riding professionally for years when you watch them riding the rain, and you can never argue with his racing pedigree when you see him race like that.
Interesting thing he told me, which I didn't believe, he said cornering speeds on fixed gear for him is higher than on a road bike. He said
because you've got that constant traction.
Exactly. Yeah. And he said I take corners faster on fixed gear. The limit is higher. Yeah. And he said the standard of the fixed gear riders at the high level now is he feels safer with those guys than with his local road races in Holland.
Road racing can be quite choppy because you can change direction.
You've got people braking, and you've got nervousness.
Whereas on a fixed gear
and there's no hard braking, is there?
You can't brake.
Exactly.
And I was going to say you can't dive bomb corners. Most riders don't dive bomb corners, but you get a few bad apples.
Of course.
And because you can't just suddenly lean a bike at an angle because you're going to pedal clip.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more fluidity to it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I was astounded
No.
when he told me that the cornering speeds were higher, because you just, as someone that hasn't raced I've ridden my own fixie, obviously, of the road bikes, but, you know, when I look at some of those cornering shots that you get, like there was a classic one of William Lewis, with, you know, there's literally a gnat's hair between his pedal and
like
the ground,
you watch...
and he's full gas.
Like
through
some
his
riders,
corner.
like, I mean, Alec Bruce is a really good example.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, he'll say it himself, his FTP is not like the crazy highest FTP. I mean, there are riders that have got high FTPs, but the guy's bike handling
is amazing,
is like unrivaled, and you can see when someone can ride a bike properly.
Do you think there's a cyclocross connection there?
Oh, yeah.
Alec is a
He's
a
a Team
cyclocross guy.
GB, isn't he?
Yeah. I know he's a big cyclocrosser.
He's just. I mean, there's a lot of natural talent and obviously a lot of work that he's been putting in for years. But I mean,
I think there's
balls, you know. He's not scared to push it to the limit.
But there's also that background of riding tricky courses.
And you know when your wheel slips?
Yeah, exactly. And not panicking and controlling it.
And it will catch. So the exact corner that people kept on crashing on in Red Hook Crit, there's a really good picture of Alec coming around it, so he loses, I think he lost his front wheel or his back wheel, and basically ends up getting his foot out, and kind of like motocross, like, you know, and then back on again, whereas a lot of other riders,
they just,
I know they went down because they were right in front of me and I ended up going over the bars straight into them.
Exactly.
He Trimmel about it, and he was saying that it's always the multidiscipline racers, you know, that tend to do quite well, because it's not just a standard road race, it's very different. I mean, that said, you got like Philip at Fortini, that's like full on road that manages to smash it, but that's just pure.
Hey, we had another young kid we worked with in the past, a Dutch junior guy, Ide Schelling. He turned up at Red Hook Milan this year. We were there, and he just turned up. No one knew who he was, except for us. We knew who he was, and he came 5th.
I was going to say he got top 10, right?
He came 5th, and you know, and no one had a clue who he was. But he rides for. Was he riding Seg Racing? So he's a pro. He's a young
Milan,
pro.
You get a lot of the pros that race Milan because it's a very open course. Yeah. So you know they don't have to have. I'd say Barcelona is probably the most technical course you got, and that really tests riders.
Yeah. Hey, I wonder if someone will step into Red Hook Crit's shoes and put on a race in Milan this year, because the course is there, isn't it? Yeah. It's like a campus. It's like a university campus. Why doesn't someone local in Milan, maybe one of the Italian race teams, for example, take that event over and do it?
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think we'll ever see Red Hook Crit again?
We'll see it again.
You reckon?
Yeah. I think he's just taken hiatus. Is that
my prediction, you know, being pessimistic and being old, right, and having seen a few more things than this youngster here, is I think that's it. I think once you take that hiatus,
I recently did
an
interview for a website, and so I've been riding track bikes since 2001 when I started working as a messenger. And so you can literally follow the evolution of it. So you got like, you know, you had track bikes, you had messengers that rode track bikes. Then there are a few more that started emerging on the street. And then you got all the messengers are called like fakingers. Yeah. That would start riding track bikes to commute because they wanted to look like messengers. And then you saw this boom of track bikes in like 2007. And everyone was doing these like skids and then like MASH, Macaframa. These all things started. And then that progressed into fixed gear freestyle. And fixed gear freestyle blew up. Right, and like the fixed gear racing, it blew up very quickly, and people were getting a lot of free stuff, you know, and everyone's grabbing for these scraps. But it's not sustainable because the companies aren't making money, so they're all giving out product to these riders to get.
Red Hook Crit has been the preeminent platform for that.
But I think that it's going to follow the same suit, so it kind of fizzles out, and then fixed gear racing now it kind of peaks, and then it's on a fizzle out now because it's not sustainable. That like, you know, business doesn't. It can't keep up that art.
I don't think, as pessimistic as I am about Red Hook Crit as a series, right? I'm not pessimistic about fixed gear as a race and as a very enthralling, a very compelling.
I think it will drop slightly.
Well, I think if things go the way I hope they will, you know, things like Thunder Crit, things like Nocturne, things like NL Crit can fill that void, and it just needs a couple of other.
What you're going to see is
brave individuals to say, for example, take over the Milan race. Yeah. Don't let it die, right? But borrow it this year, just in case it doesn't come back.
I think what you'll see fixed gear crit going from individual events, like the Thunder Crit is like the one at Lee Valley is an individual event, and then there's a second Thunder Crit this year. There's Eastbourne Cycle Festival, and so you're going to start seeing, I think, fixed gear crits kind of piggybacking off of other criteriums, and they'll become like Nocturne. Yeah. You know, you have your main event road crit. and then you're going to have a fixed gear event.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a lot more of that. So it's not going to be this main stage, big glitzy event anymore.
That's what NL Crit have done this year. Yeah. NL Crit this year have opened it up to road racing.
Yeah.
They've contracted
and that's the future.
From, I think they've gone exactly the right way, because they've gone, I think, from like 10 races last year.
Yeah.
Some of the races, 3 people turned up.
Yeah.
And they've concentrated it down to 5 really big, good races. And they've opened it up to road riders, so there'll be a road race as well as a fixed crit. And I think that's the success of like Nocturne, because I think Nocturne is a brilliant event in London.
And like, City Centre crits are where it's at. Like you say, no one wants to watch a road race because it's boring. You like to see people come round again. And there's a lot of City Centre crits all over the UK, so why not chuck?
They're thrilling.
Bristol GP, why not chuck a fixed gear event?
When you see the speed, right, of a crit, you know, and top riders racing through streets that you're familiar with, and you've got something to gauge their speed by, it's breathtaking, you know?
It is, and then people, you know, it is exciting, it is thing, and people have this like weird image that like it's more dangerous to fixed gear crit than a road crit, and you watch any road crit, I mean there's crashes and City Centre crits, and they've got brakes, they've got things, you know, it's just inevitable aspects.
Well, you know, it's like my theory of wearing a helmet, you know, if you think you're not going to hurt yourself, you'll crash more.
Yeah.
I never wear a helmet when I ride, probably, I don't know if that's still legal or not. And I'm probably getting into trouble for it. But the thing
might get a few
comments. But the thing is, right, I never fall off my bike. Okay, one day it's going to happen, right? But the thing is, because I know I haven't got a helmet on, I ride very cautiously. You know?
I mean, where we live, we live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll go out and I won't wear a helmet.
Yeah.
You know, my 2-year-old wears a helmet.
Oh yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. I just want to point out that I always make my kids wear helmets whenever I ride with them, but I don't wear a helmet myself.
Yeah. But if I'm racing, I mean, I spent 10 years working as a bike messenger in London. Yeah. Right? Did I wear a helmet?
Of course you did.
No. How many crashes did I have in that whole 10 years? 2.
Yeah.
You know? One I got reversed into and ended up going through the back window of a car.
Right. Well, the helmet might have helped you in that case.
Literally, my bum went through the window. Right. Like, that was it. So I went through, I had my lock in my belt. And so my lock smashed the window.
Right.
Head didn't even touch the car. The second time was in an alley cat, and don't know if she was saying this on camera. And there was a crossroads in the West End. I think it's like going up, like I don't know, like Davy Street or one of these streets, and it was just turning to a green man. So it would have been a red light for me and the oncoming traffic. Well, Mr. Taxi Driver was like, I'm getting through that light. And at the same time, I was like, I'm getting through that light.
Yeah.
And so I've just gone through and I've seen this car and I had to ditch the bike and I slid underneath the car and I had to kick. So you kind of kick your bike out and you just, I just slid with my foot up and my foot caught the side of the car to stop my leg going under it.
Right.
Bike got run over.
Good thinking. Quick thinking.
Yeah, I think it was more of a like, panic just happens, you know, rather than like this planned thing. And then he was like, you're all right. Obviously, totally both of our fault, you know. And all I did then is I had to adjust my riding, you know, and that was me for like racing. I was a bit like, okay,
that's more of a mental attitude adjustment.
I'm bombing like junctions blind. I'm riding up one ways completely like pinned, maybe slightly intoxicated.
Well, I mean, I got to admit, when I was a kid, right, riding in London as a kid, which is a long time ago, you know, TVs were black and white back then. That's what we did all the time, you know. That was cycling was an outlaw sport. It wasn't on TV in this country. We're in England, by the way. But cycling was a really not a mainstream thing to do, and it was an outlaw activity. You know, for a long time, like road racing was banned in this country, so that's why the old road racers and time trialists always used to wear black. Everything was black because they were trying to not get noticed that they were racing on public roads.
Couriers, you'd always wear black, 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 because if you get seen jumping a red light, and someone says it, the policeman is looking for a courier with a black bag, a black jumper and a black bike.
Exactly. So, but yeah, that's how we used to ride it all the time, like that, you know, dodge every red light, you know, dodge through people crossing on zebra cross, you know, that was just it. We never hurt anyone, obviously.
Yeah, but, I used to make videos.
It's not to the done thing anymore.
Was it like 2005, 2004, 2005, 2006? I'd make a few videos of like alley cat races in London, and you can still find some very bad quality ones online. And it's from like the Lucas Brunel like back in the day thing, you know. And I think it's kind of a thing that's kind of phased out slightly, or maybe it's just not as publicly viewed, because it is. Yeah.
It's a little bit.
It is
it's a little bit wee and a little
dodgy
bit wild.
things. I mean, Monster Track is still going.
Yeah.
You know, I know a few people that are going to race it this year.
Yeah.
And it's a race I'd love to do, but I've got a kid.